I am going to also send an email out to everybody that is enrolled with the recording and all of the notes of what we have gone over, and also what your assignment is, because each week when we do meet, I am going to kind of give you some homework. And when I say homework, I don't really mean, you know, actual formal written work that you have to do. It's more awareness type activities. And so the last time that I did this, this course, it was really, really enlightening for people. And those of you that have done my program before, or have participated in any of my workshops, I praise myself. Ooh, you like the new hat? They just came in.
I do like the hat. I was just thinking, can we get one of those?
Yes. Yes, they're all lined up there. I have to, I don't have a price on them until I get what they're going to cost me to ship, but they're going to be available tomorrow online, but they're so cool. I love them so much. Anyways, boy, that was really off track. I completely forgot where I was going. What was I saying? Oh, the awareness. Yes. So this is all about awareness. And the members that did this last time, if they were here, and I did invite them all to return at no cost, and they might pop in next week or the week after, will tell you that it was such an eye-opening experience. And it's one that they still have taken with them, whether they're applying it, it's still kind of on their shoulder. So I'm hoping that you'll get that same experience, and I'm hoping that it will change the way you view your behaviors, and even change the way that you kind of move through your day. So sugar. How many of you were able to watch my presentation last night on sugar? I know Kim, you were there. Okay, so if you haven't gotten to watch it, it is up on the website, and I encourage you to watch it. But today's little slideshow is going to be kind of a condensed version of that. I really want to present to you all what a sugar addiction is. And when we hear initially sugar addiction, I was just at the firehouse training all the firefighters, and I mentioned this class, and they all know about the class because they're all on my mailings as well. And you know, they were almost kind of not laughing about it, but almost thinking it was a humorous thing. Like, how could someone really be addicted to sugar? And when I say that, it does sound like it can't really be something that could occur, but it is an actual physiological thing that happens to people. Our systems become addicted to this substance. And if you're here or you're watching this and you are somebody that craves sugar, you're somebody that wants sugar, you're somebody that seeks out sugar, or even maybe you're somebody that has said either to me or in your head that you need to have that sweet treat, then that is a calling for sugar. And I've shared to many people, I shared this last night, that I'm a former addict. You know, I've been there. I've suffered the pain of seeking out sugar, and I have gone as far as getting in the car, driving to Walgreens and buying candy just to fulfill that sweet tooth. I've gone digging through cabinets, you know, looking for stray candy. And I've also gone through boxes of cereal, pulling out the little marshmallows. And I'm not kidding. It is true. I've done it. And the more you do it, the more you want it. And it shouldn't be dismissed as it being you. It shouldn't be dismissed as it being, well, this is just how I'm wired. I've always been this way. You know, we hear those things a lot. Irene, but I've always had a sweet tooth. That's true. But if you think about it, if you're addicted to sugar, and you've always gotten sugar as a child, and you've always fed that craving, it's never going to go away. I had my last child, who's now 12, later in life, and I had her after I had become a nutritionist, and it's been really interesting to watch her sugar addiction develop. And she does have a sugar addiction. And I've really kind of watched the way that we are cultured as a society. And I shared this yesterday. We reward with sugar. We are used to being rewarded with sugar. You know, we take our kids to the doctor, they get a shot, here's your suckers, you know, they fall, let me get you candy, you know, they poop on the toilet right away, here's your candy. You know, we're so used to being rewarded with sugar. And it goes back years and years and years. And, you know, some of these traditions, we don't want to take away. You know, I certainly am not implying that you don't serve a cupcake on your birthday or have cake at, you know, at a wedding, but we should be more mindful when we reward with sugar, because those things aren't going to go away. And I could tell you from watching my now 12-year-old, who would come to me at age 3 and say, "Mom, do we have anything sweet in the house?" And I would go, "That's really interesting that she would want something sweet like that." That is a 3-year-old who is craving sugar, and that comes from the brain, and that is an addiction. And so I'm going to present to you how that happens, and then I'm going to present to you how we can extinguish it. And some of the activities that I'm going to have you do over the next 3 or 4 days are going to bring a lot of attention to the causes of this. But before we do all of this, I would love for us to kind of introduce each other briefly. And so if we can just kind of go around, introduce yourself, if you want to share your favorite sweet treat and maybe how addicted you feel you are. And then even share if you are in the program or have been in the program, and a goal that you have that you want to achieve out of this program. And then from there, share your sugar downfall. How's that? Your sugar downfall. And then I will go ahead on with the presentation. So I'm just going to call your names in order of how I have them here on my wall. So Chris, you're first. Christine.
Hi, I'm driving, so that's why you can't see me.
Okay.
And I was also hiding the fact that I just left Costco with a churro in my mouth. So there, I'm addicted to sugar. Yeah, so I've always loved sugar. I'm not like a salty person, I'm a sugar person. And I've had it for so long that I have not been able to go a day without any type of sugar. I try and do well, and I sabotage myself. Irene knows I'm a self-sabotager. We've been doing this how long, Irene?
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I need to figure out ways to get better with my sugar intake. Plus, you know, I have type 2 diabetes now, which is regulated, but it's still something that I'm going to have forever because it's not the reversible kind, even though it's type 2.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's my downfall is, I don't know, ice cream, raw cake mix, like batter. I love cake batter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a candy person. Chocolate. I like chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, churros.
Awesome. Do you and you don't have to. I will share my absolute worst sugar episode. Give us a worst sugar episode that you've had. Like when you say you've wanted it, you've Like, what has been one of the,
Probably, my worst sugar, I'm sure it was this week where everything I ate was sugar related, starting with breakfast. Every
okay,
meal was sugar.
really?
And that's not normal. Like, that's not, I don't do that a few times a week, but for that day, I don't know if it was because I hadn't gone grocery shopping yet. I just went sugar. Like, I made cupcakes, and before I even put the cupcakes in the cupcake tins, I probably ate 6 cupcakes worth of batter. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, and then I ate the cupcakes, and then I don't know what I had. I think I went to Walgreens that day and walked out with cold medicine for my son and a Kit Kat for me.
Yep.
You know, I have a sugar problem for sure.
Yep. And I can relate. I've done all of that. And probably my biggest sugar, amongst eating, you know, just candy like it was nothing. I've eaten jelly straight out of the jar, like a lot of it. I mean, not at once, like pudding, but you know, I'll just go take jelly and then just keep going back and eating it. I mean, it's ridiculous. That is just straight sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for sharing. Deborah, you're next.
Hi, I joined Irene's program back in 2019. I did it, oh, I can't remember. I think tier 1, tier 2, maybe 3, and then went off of it. And like I do for every program I've ever done, went off of it. And then I rejoined this past June again, did it for a couple weeks, stopped doing it. So now I've been doing it for the last 3 weeks. I just got back from a cruise. I'm at the highest I've ever been in my life. I turned 59. I'll start with my goal. I'll be 60 next year, and my goal is to get below 150 by the time I'm 60. As far as my sugar addiction, okay, so oddly right now, because I'm on week 3 of tier 1, I haven't been craving it, okay? So I don't have a craving, but when I call myself off of a plan and I'm on a food tier, it's horrible. Like, I can't, my husband works second shift. I can't wait to log off of work Friday and go shopping. And I'll go to the dollar store, I'll go to Woodman's, I'll go to the different stores. I can't wait. It's like, it's almost, it literally is like a drug. It was, but right now I haven't really been eating sugar because it's not on the plan. But I would go to the dollar store and I loved the aisle that has all the individual pastries, you know, the Dolly Madison, and I couldn't wait. I literally was like buying them, eating one in the car. Then I would go to Jewel to get the $5 piece of cake. And I was getting, this is sad, I was getting to a point where I was hiding them in my glove compartment. So I was literally like hiding candy bars and Hostess in the glove compartment or in the cabinet at home, so that my husband or my son, not that they, you know, he loves me no matter what size I am, okay? But it was just like, for me, I was out of control. And he just brought a huge bag of the real good Halloween candy this morning at Walmart. And I just looked at it. I really, honestly, I don't crave it. I do not crave it. But last year at Halloween, he hid some leftovers in the garage, and I found them about a month later in the tin pan. And you would have thought like I won $1 million. I was so excited. And when I say I probably ate in one weekend, I'm not kidding, I hate to say this, probably more than 50 little of the little chocolate, the good candy bars in one weekend.
Yeah.
So, but now, like I said, for some reason, 3 weeks on the plan, I'm not craving it, but I do once in a while think, God, I want something sweet, you know, but I made the,
Oh, go ahead.
I made the protein muffins, and I made the pumpkin muffins already, you know, and I will have like one of those, but you know, every once in a while it's like, God, I just want something, you know, sweeter, but I don't have the huge craving like when I'm on a food tier.
And I'll explain why coming up.
Okay. Yeah. So that's me with sugar. It really is an addiction. And when you talk about the jelly, yeah, I mean, I could take a spoon and I was eating grape jelly out of the jar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you for sharing, for sure.
Yep.
So Kathy, oh no, Kim, you're next.
Oh.
Okay.
So I joined the program back in January of this year.
Uh-huh.
I was on a roll and, working from home like everybody else. And so it was really easy. Didn't crave pop, didn't crave, my weakness is Coca-Cola, Coke in the morning. That's my caffeine. So when I started back in the office, it was just a really crazy schedule, 70 hours a week for about 3 or 4 months. So I was tired when I would get in there, and so I started craving, and when I'm stressed, I crave the sweets. Otherwise, I don't crave sweets. So I'm just trying to, so I would crave my pop, and I think we talked about this back over the summer. So that's taking me off course. I mean, it's not like I'm having, like 3 or 4 cans a day. I might have like a total of 1 12-ounce can. But it's still, it's, like every day now. So it's like I'm trying to get back off of that. And then just to try and teach myself other ways if I start to feel stressed to avoid the sugar.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's really my weak spot is the soft drinks.
And that is something we talked about. And
Yeah.
I'll share with you the sugar content in soft drinks if you don't already know, but
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I still find myself like I go to reach for it and I think to myself, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, but then I still have it anyway. And it's like, I got to stop doing that. So
Yep.
that's what's kind of derailing me right now is
Yeah,
that.
but we'll come up with some really concrete hands-on strategies that'll hopefully help extinguish that.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
okay, so it looks like next we have, just looks like it just says iPhone user. So is that, oh, Kathy, you jumped up to the top. So Kathy, you joined a little late.
Oh.
We're doing a quick meet and greet. So if you want to just share with us, your name and, your worst sugar, what did I call it? Downfall.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought there was another person who was Kathy. I'm sorry. I tried to get on with my phone and that didn't work. So I wonder if that's what's hanging out there.
Maybe.
I try anyway. My biggest sugar downfall is chocolate chips, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
I can't remember when I joined, Irene.
Oh, I think it was 2018.
Yeah, it was a long time ago and I was doing ish until COVID. I do work in a hospital with active COVID and it sort of solidified my complete addiction to sugar. So the complete fear that you have, like I would go into a COVID room and come out and just be like, I need a milkshake or I need sweets or whatever it is. It was very challenging to stay on plan during COVID. We had communal fridges and microwave stuff that like you really don't want to share during a pandemic. So just really poor choices. But it's like in my lifetime, this is the first time that I noticed such a clear, like emotional reaction to something and food. And the hospitals, what you're hearing about, pizza parties and whatever, it is so true. We have tons of food around now. I used to, make a rule. I've been working for 20 years. So I used to be like, I'm not gonna eat anything in the offices, but now it's like freak out. Okay, there's a piece of candy. So it's, Reese's peanut butter cups, chocolate. Those are my sugar things. I was kind of drinking pop more. And I've since stopped that. I just don't like how I feel. So I switched to tea. But really it's sweet. And I'm pre-diabetic, so I'd like not to be. So that's a big thing. And then trying to figure out how to disrupt that emotional connection to, oh my God, I'm freaking out, to yes, food is my friend. Or, a lot is sweets. It was really interesting how quickly or how specific my cravings were. Like when that total fear happened, and it happened quite frequently. So that's why I think everybody, it's like your demons. I was just like, okay. So, and I would try, but then, there's so many chemicals involved and, so anyway,
Yep.
So here I am,
Well, and I'm
trying to
glad,
get back on track.
and I'm glad you're here. So, all right. So thank you for sharing. It looks like Kelly is next.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and I have been with Irene for about 1.5 years now, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And I was killing it for the first year, and I think I now am in a rut, and it's all due to sweets. I know it.
Right.
I like Irene, and I think one other person went to. I'll go to Walgreens. I'll go to CVS to just get my candy fix.
Yep.
If we go to if I bring the kids to
And
the store, they're
all
asking
over
for
the place
candy.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I'm in Trader Joe's, those dark chocolate peanut butter cups are amazing. So of course I have to pick some up.
TJ Maxx.
What is it?
TJ Maxx too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
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 So yeah, so I just am having 3 kids, all under the age of 9 doesn't help because they always want something sweet. And I actually found that if I start my day off with like cereal or something, I tend to cave in later on. I don't know why that is, but maybe because cereal's more sugary. But if I have eggs, I do better. But anyway, I'm off track. I need to get back on track. And I'm definitely addicted to sugar. Always have been. It's always been my pitfall.
Okay. Well, I would love for this to help. So
I hope it. Yeah, I know it will. I know
for
I will.
sure, for sure. And God bless, like Kelly. She is never, for all the bumps in the road you've had, and when I say that, I mean just the same bumps that everyone else has. You know, this girl has never stopped texting me. She's kept going.
Well,
like,
if
no,
I
you
forget,
have. No,
weight is my biggest.
I mean, you've gained, you've lost, you've gained, you've lost, but you've never given up on yourself. And I love that.
No. And I'm not giving up now. Actually, I'm full on. I'm in a rut. Like you said, I'm in a rut.
Yep.
I need my motivation back.
And we will serve it to you.
And I need a challenge. This is going to be a challenge for me.
This is.
So this will be good.
This is.
Yeah.
Kristen.
Okay, so like Kelly, I am in a rut as well. I've been in a rut, and then I start, and then I go back, and then I start, and I go back like 100 times. So I've been with Irene, I don't even know, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, I don't know. It's been a while.
I think 2.
Yeah, so I also did great in the beginning, and then I'm a stress eater, and so I had some major medical stuff going on with my son. So we were in the hospital like many times, and that kind of started my problem where I'd be like, okay, well, I'm trying to do really good. And then I would be like, okay, well, I mean, I'm in a hospital, so it's like a good excuse. I'm not home. So yeah, I had this, and yeah, I had that. And then that kind of became more frequent. And then I'd get home and I'd still have the crap to eat. So then I was like, okay, now we're home and everything is good, and now I can get back on track. And then I've just been not able to get back on track I've been trying, but I just like, it's like, I know what I'm supposed to do. I tell her, I'm like, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I'm not supposed to eat. I know what I am supposed to eat. I'm just not doing it. And I don't know what my problem is. And then I get on the scale and then I'm like, what is your problem? You know what you're supposed to do, you're just not. So, and I also am contributing the sweets because I used to go all day without anything. And I'd be like, good. I mean, I love my chocolate and my sugar and stuff, but when I was doing great in the program, I would be okay. And then once you slide off, now I'm like back to eating at work, and there's cake and there's cookies and Halloween candy and then ice cream every night. And it's just been a problem. So I also feel like the challenge of this, I'm like, okay, if I actually have to, do this, and there's accountability, and it's
for sure
be better, hopefully.
For sure. And she put that so lightly. I mean, her son had like this tiny little issue that turned into almost having his entire leg needing to be amputated, which led to months in the hospital. which, I mean, so she put that very lightly. And she's been a rock star. So we'll definitely give her kudos, but we'll definitely hopefully help.
Need to get back on.
So, all right, and finally, Teresa. Is there a Teresa? Teresa?
I'm at work, so I'm sorry, I can't talk.
It's okay.
I'm just listening.
All right. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to quickly go through this presentation. And actually a lot of the things that we shared, I think are going to be explained during the presentation. A lot of why Deborah's not craving sugar is going to be explained. A lot of why, you know, Kelly and I would get in the car and, you know, drive to CVS. A lot of that is not you. You know, you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. This is how our bodies respond to sugar. And I have to say, knowing this, you know, I don't want to discredit, you know, my hard work in the fact that I was able to get off my own, you know, get off the sugar addiction, but learning, you know, becoming a nutritionist, learning about this that I'm going to present to you has helped me understand why I had this problem my whole life. And it's helped me achieve the goal of not being addicted anymore. And so that's the whole point of this class. When you understand that you don't have a problem, you're not alone, it's physiological and you could stop it, and you will be so aware of all of your behaviors, and hopefully it'll make a difference. So I'm going to share my screen and just go through my little presentation. So the sugar addiction. So there are 70 different names for sugar at the grocery store. So what you need to know, being part of this, is when we say we're taking sugar out of your diet, that means we're taking out anything that is labeled one of these 70 words. That means all the words that are representing sugar. And sugar manufacturers do this to confuse us, because then we think we're not getting sugar. We pick up the label and go, oh, this is beet sugar in it, I'm good. No, it's sugar. There are 70 different names for sugar. Some of them are obvious, like brown rice sugar. But last night I was sharing with the webinar, like, you know, we look at that, we say, well, brown rice sugar, it's got to be better for you. But really, it's just sugar. So you can't have that either. So look beyond that. Honey is sugar. Agave is sugar. Can't have any of that, because that is going to spike your insulin levels. Anything that spikes your insulin levels, and those of you that are diabetic, pre-diabetic, that's what's happening. Your insulin levels are spiking. That is making you need, want, crave sugar. So that is what we need to stay away from. And I'm going to educate you on all these. The quick fix diet foods that we all think are good for us have these labels. Again, we're being suckered by the manufacturers to think that we are doing ourselves good. I'm just going to buy this. Let's see here. I have all these. I'm a lotion junkie. Oh, look at this. This has less sugar. Less sugar means 10% less sugar. So if this used to have 50 grams of sugar, now it only has 45. That's what you're getting when you pick a label up that says less sugar. So be careful. It's nothing. It means nothing. In fact, when you see a buzzword on the front like that, it's usually a red flag that there's something conning you. So be very careful of buzzwords. And don't be a target. And right away, and someone mentioned Trader Joe's, and I'm not knocking Trader Joe's, but Trader Joe's is the winner of all winners for buzzwords.
Mm.
They win the prize hands down for the store that has the most labels that are misleading. But they're not lying to you, because if you really sit and look at the ingredients and the nutrition, they're not lying. But I mean, you go there and it's like, oh, organic, lower sugar, quinoa Pop-Tarts. Well, they're made with quinoa and pomegranates, but they're Pop-Tarts, people. They're 280 calories and 30 grams of sugar. But what do we do though? We see the quinoa, we see the pomegranate, we see we all fall into that trap. So be careful. All right. The addiction begins. Is it harmless? Like I said, we reward our children with sugar. I always laugh when people will see, and I've given my kids coffee before. You're giving your 10-year-old coffee, like, well, you give them a can of soda, and soda's got will do more harm than a cup of coffee that's got 50 grams of caffeine in it. Chocolate has more than 50 grams of caffeine in it, but people don't look at it that way. Chocolate has caffeine. And next week when kids are eating chocolate like it's nothing, they're getting more caffeine than coffee, with sugar combined. So we are taught that sugar is good. And here's the perfect example. If you're good, I'll give you ice cream. If you're good, you can have dessert. My favorite is if you finish all of your food, so I'm going to force you to eat more than you want, I'm going to let you eat dessert. So we're forcing kids to eat, to get to their dessert, to get to their sugar. So sugar fuels every cell in our brain. Your brain does see sugar as a reward, which makes you want more. It tastes good, but you're reinforcing the reward by giving it more. So I didn't mention, but you may know this already, sugar is 6 times more addictive than cocaine. And this is the reason why, and this is a true image of a brain, somebody's brain after they've done cocaine and somebody's brain after they've eaten sugar. What you're seeing in green are the neurotransmitters in their brain, releasing dopamine. And dopamine is a neurotransmitter that's released when we are enjoying something. And sugar is enjoyable. So dopamine is released during most pleasurable actions. You could listen to soothing music and dopamine will be released. People that love to exercise, dopamine is released. That's why weirdos like me run 100-mile races, because we enjoy it. Okay. Sex, dopamine is released. Probably more for men than women. Sorry. Had to say it. But sugar will release dopamine. So does cigarette smoking, so do drugs. But unlike drugs, sugar is more readily available and you can keep eating it. And it won't kill you like drugs will. So when you have a little sugar, then you need to have more sugar to get that flavor, to get that buzz. So you are having to raise the bar on the amount that you have in order to achieve that high that you want. So you start out by having 2 little pieces of candy, and then next thing you know, that's not enough. You can tolerate 6, you can tolerate 8. Next thing you know, you're eating jelly out of the jar, because your tolerance has changed. Now I have cured my sugar addiction, and I can tell you the thought of eating jelly out of the jar makes me want to vomit. But 2 years ago, I mean, if I was running low on jelly, I was at the store because I had to have, like, it had to be there. So it's interesting how that changes. And it's because I've dropped my tolerance. Just like somebody who drinks, can drink 6 beers and not get a buzz, and somebody else, you know, gets wasted off of a one little beer. So those of you that have an addiction, your tolerance is very high right now, and we need to just drop it. Deborah, you've dropped your tolerance already. You said 3 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we need to keep it there. That's the thing. And when I heard you say, well, you kind of want something sweet, I don't think you do. I think you're used to having something sweet, so you want something sweet.
Yeah,
And-
I'm not
and-
craving it. No.
And
Yeah.
that was me for the longest time, where I was like, this is really weird. I should be like having a piece of candy. It's like, I just had lunch. I was so used to that. Like after lunch, Irene has 3 little Dove bars. I didn't want it anymore, but I was like, this is weird. I had to really stop and tell myself, like, stop it. No, you don't. So Deborah, no, you don't. Because your behavior will drive you to do it, and then you'll be back to where you started. So you don't. We're conditioned. We are prisoners. You know, we're used to eat, then have dessert. No one says that has to be the case. We don't have to have dessert. When people say, I have a sweet tooth, I have to have it, I say, no, you don't. Who says you have to have it? If you want it, that's one thing. But if you're trying to get rid of it, you don't. And I'm sitting here telling you it's the best thing in the world to not want it. Coming from somebody that really did have a problem with it. So these are all of the sugar teasers. And if you look at these names, some of them are unpronounceable, but some of these you would maybe go and look at something at the store that might be labeled, you know, healthy for you, lower in sugar, and you might look at it and go, coconut palm sugar. Oh, okay, well, this has got to be better for me. I mean, barley malt syrup. Why not? I mean, but Irene, this is made out of Barbados sugar. I mean, it doesn't matter. These are all sugars. Molasses is sugar. Honey is sugar. Fruit juice is sugar. Every one of these is sugar. We're so used to now corn syrup. We know that that's not good. Dates are good for you, but the sugar in dates is not. So when they take a date and they make sugar out of it, it's sugar. And you're being teased. So look out for all of these. If it's sweet, then more than likely it is made of some form of sugar. This one cracks me up, raw sugar. So it's not crystallized in tiny little crystals. So it kills me, but we all fall for it. We all fall for it. So don't fall for it. All right, so these are the top ones though. These are the ones you're going to see the most. Honey, agave, and nectar. You know, nectar sounds so healthy. It's sugar. Fruit juice, molasses, coconut sugar, and this one's really trending right now. Cane sugar and brown rice sugar. So look for those. If you pick up a protein bar or some healthy snack at Trader Joe's and it's made with brown rice sugar, don't fool yourself. It is sugar. And the answer is right there on the label. Because if you flip it around and you look at the sugar grams, it's going to say it. It's going to say total sugars, 19, 25, 36. And that's what you got to watch for. Okay. All right. So week 1, awareness. I want you to be aware of what you are doing. And really that is such a big thing. You're not aware. I just presented you with some words that now I want you to go home, and whether you are going to start extinguishing these behaviors now, or you're going to wait until the 3rd week, and I'm leaving that up to you. Last session, I had some people that waited until that last day. You're not going to get the actual detox until that last session, but go home and pick up your protein bars and pick up all of it, and look and see how your sugar is labeled. Next time you're at the grocery store, flip it around. You are gonna laugh your ass off at how these things are mislabeled. Look at the front and see the big orange letters that say lower in sugar, when it's not. Because lower in sugar means it just has to be 1 gram lower than what the original product was, which is such a joke. They're not lying to us, so they can get away with it. Okay, so assignment part 1. I would like for you, and I have a spreadsheet that will be in your email tomorrow, to log, but don't limit. So you're not limiting all your sweet treats for the next 3 days. Now, those of you that have already changed your behaviors, Deborah, you're on a cleaner path. When you're logging your sweet treats, that means your muffins, that means your anything that is sweet. I want you to log it, but I don't want you to limit it. This is not restriction time yet. Okay, this is us just putting together an accumulated list of everything that you eat that's sweet. So before this presentation started, I had kind of sort of dry mouth. I've been talking all day. I had this little piece of candy. I would expect you to log this. This is sweet. If you have iced tea and you put, sugar-free Splendor, whatever in there, I want you to log it. I want you to log anything that is sweet, whether it's sweetened with fruit, whether it's sweetened with sugar-free product, whether it's sweetened with real sugar. No transparency, just put it on there, okay? Then I want you to add the total carbs and sugars up for those treats, if you can. And you guys are all familiar with FitnessPal. So if you're not logging on FitnessPal, you can always just go on Google, look it up. And the spreadsheet, which I'll show you in a second, has columns so that you can plop those numbers in there, okay? Afterwards, I want you to record your thoughts and feelings before, during, and after eating these things. So this is all gonna change, because tomorrow, you're picking up that piece of chocolate, your thoughts are gonna be different. They are, they are. They're gonna be like, wow, I have to tell Irene about this, or like,
Right.
like this has 15 grams of sugar. I'm gonna eat it anyways, because I'm whatever your thoughts are. I want you to think about that. I want you to, as you're eating it, go, wow, this is spiking my blood sugar, and this is why I'm going to want more later. Because that is what's causing you to want more. You have 1, you're having 12. Because when your blood sugar spikes, that is what is making you want more, period. And for me, I knew this for years. Kelly said she starts her day with cereal. She wants more sugar throughout the day. That's not a coincidence. Her insulin levels spiked, and now she wants sugar. It's like it's been put out there. The key here is to keep yourself balanced. If you have a steady insulin levels, then you're never gonna want that sugar. But she wakes up, your blood sugar's down here. She eats cereal, it's up here. Then it comes down. Now she's like, where's the sugar? So keeping it balanced. Now the cereal that she's having, Kelly, what kind of cereal are you having?
I usually have Fiber One.
Okay.
So I'm not having terrible cereal, and Fiber One, like every other healthy, I feel like cereal is like off the shelves now, or they have disgusting flavors in it. So I just got Kashi, and that's not so bad, but
are you near it to tell us how many grams of sugar is in it?
The Kashi?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw on one of your things Chex Mix, so I picked up that too, but let me go get it. Hold on one second.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Would you count like your pumpkin muffins as a sweet treat or no?
If it's sweet, put it on there.
Okay.
we're not, you know, we're not judging. We're just, this is not like anything sweet at all, anything sweet at all. So, you know, if you eat one of my yogurts and you put strawberries in there, that's sweet. It's fruit, put it in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything
Even like you said, like you know, the one thing that sticks out for me is I do like a Splenda in the morning, and then I use like nut pod creamer for my coffee and a tablespoon of the regular, you know, the sugar-free coffee mate one, a flavored one. That would count too, right?
Yep. Put it in there.
Okay.
Now, the difference between doing something sugar-free and doing something healthy is when you then total your carbs and sugars, you're going to have a lot less in that column.
Yeah. Okay. All righty.
Yeah. Kelly, what is the sugars?
You know what? It just dawned on me too, is I always go for the honey almond one.
Wow.
So that's obviously like, even in the fiber one, I go for the honey almond cluster or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the other flavors. So you want to know total sugars?
Yeah.
In this Kashi one, it's 12 grams.
Okay. And are you keeping it to the portion size?
Yes,
Okay.
I do that.
Okay.
And I usually use skim milk.
Okay, and there's in 1 cup of skim milk, there's I think I don't know off the top of my head, but you're probably at 20 sugars with the milk.
Yeah, because it says included 10 grams of added sugars.
Yep. So there you go.
So throw it out.
Oh, damn it. So, but if you did a Chex Mix,
This is better.
yeah, that's perfect. Mm-hmm.
This one's a lot better.
Yep. So that's what this is about. You know, here we have somebody that's like, oh, it's Kashi. It's awesome. You know,
Yeah.
But afterwards, with something like that, there's ways of driving down the sugar grams by adding fiber, which we'll talk about after this activity next week.
Yeah, this one only has 3 grams of sugar.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Much better. Sorry, Kelly.
Oh no. You know what? I figured that it had to do something, because every single time I have cereal, which is easy for me because getting 3 kids off to school,
Yep.
cereal is just the easy way to go, that every
Yeah.
time I had it, I knew that I was going in for a bad day.
But see, there you go. You knew it before you knew what. Anyway, so then you're going to record the food eaten before and after the sweet treat. So, you know, this is a lot easier if you're actually logging. So if you're not logging, just go ahead and log, because, you know, it'll be just easier to do. But I want you to record what you eat before and then what you eat after. Because if you are having a churro or whatever, I want to know what you end up eating after that. I want to know what your day was like up until you indulged in the chocolate, and then what happened after that. You need to see that. You need to see like, oh, boom, the domino effect. Okay. And then I want you to explain in words your justification for wanting that sugary treat, because everybody's got one. Everyone's got one. You guys, I hear all day long everyone's justifications. Okay. So now there's a part 2. Those are the first 3 days. Okay. And when you see the chart, you don't have to write any of this down, because the chart is very well scripted and you can't mess up. You are going to log, but limit all sweet treats for 3 days. And luckily for you, the 3 days here are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Halloween falls on Sunday, which is on the don't limit day for anybody that's. I didn't plan that, but I did plan that the don't limit fall on the weekend. So I'm not all evil. So then same thing, add up the total sugars, record your thoughts, record the food eaten before and after. So basically we want to see the difference here between you actually making an effort to limit and you not limiting. Okay, so if you're considering wanting to start reducing the amount of sugar, this is a really great start. I'm kind of letting you have a little 3-day fiasco. And then, and I'm not suggesting to go off, you know, go off and do what you want, but eat like you would without adding any extra to it. Okay. So
like if we're doing, I'm sorry, so if we're doing the plan, say tier, you know, I'm still in month 1, so I'm going to continue to do, say, the yogurt with the fruit or the
Don't change
protein
anything.
muffin, right? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Don't change anything. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the sheet that you're going to get. And I know it's probably really small for you to see, but basically what I did was here is day 1, day 2, day 3, the foods you ate. So you're just like jotting down all your little sugary treats, and you could use your own, you know, sheet too. Your total carbs in here, thoughts and feelings. So if you're logging on FitnessPal, you can log on FitnessPal and then transfer it over to here. You don't even have to use this. But this is kind of what we're going to use next Wednesday when we go over everything and discuss. Actually, I got to change this. This is the sheet that we used last time. So this is going to say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'll alter it in a way where Halloween falls on a candy day. So regardless, and you don't have to follow those exact days. I'll let you plug in the days that you want. So questions.
I have a question. I mentioned stevia. What about, and I'm sure it's going to be something we log, like a monk fruit sweetener. I didn't see that on the 75 ones you showed. So what are your thoughts on something like that? Because I'll use that to bake something.
Yeah.
Like when I did, I think the pumpkin muffins or whatever, I won't use the sugar. I'll use the monk fruit sweetener.
Yep. So we're going to talk about artificial, that's an artificial sweetener. We're going to talk about artificial sweeteners next week, but you can have artificial sweeteners. There's a boatload of them. Now here's my call on artificial sweeteners. I mean, I use them. I don't use them a lot, but they're in everything, you know. I do try to limit because honestly, we don't know really what they're made of. But as of now, and I cannot stand stevia. When I eat stevia, I could taste it. It tastes super bitter to me. It ruins my food. I just don't put it in there. Since I have stopped eating sugar, it's crazy. I eat my Greek yogurt plain. I drink my coffee black. Like, I mean, I don't even, you guys, my whole top teeth are, these are all veneers because I had full cavities, implants. That's how bad the decay was from sugar. For real. I think I would like go to sleep with like full Tootsie Rolls in my mouth sometimes. My brother's my dentist. So he was like, he knew I had such a candy problem. So I don't want it anymore. Now, monk fruit right now is in the top running for the best, most natural calorie-free sweetener. But as far as what it does to your blood sugar, the verdict is not completely out yet. So for now, keep using it. But when we get through next week, I'll discuss whether or not you can use it during the detox period. So,
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Any other questions? So what's for dinner tonight? Sure.
It's right here.
I'll be over.
Trick or treat.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No, let me tell you though, I always buy the full size chocolate bars and stuff to give out. This year, I bought the package of Skittles with what are those other things? Starburst, because I don't like any of that.
Yep. That's what I did for years. But the problem is your kids go trick-or-treating and then they bring home all the good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or my husband goes to buy me an anniversary card because our 20 years today, and he comes home with a big bag of chocolate. because he's more addicted to carbs and sugar than I am. And he just pretty much ate the whole bag almost.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
it's a struggle.
Well, I showed this last night. Kim, sorry that you're having to see this again. But I'm super proud of this. I have had this candy in this drawer here. Look, I have this in here, and then I even have, look at this. This is open. In my desk drawer, I have these are from like my races that I just use, like, you know, when I'm running and I'm like, okay, I need sugar. I don't even look in here to know that they're here. I just don't even want it anymore. It's the craziest thing, for real. And I mean, I was for sure full stream. One day before I gave up my sugar, and this is an activity that you're going to do coming up. And I told everybody this, so I'm telling you guys this. To help me cure myself, I did not throw away any of the wrappers of all the candy that I ate. So last night I told people for Halloween, don't throw away any of the candy that you eat, the wrappers. You need to see it.
Take a picture, yeah.
And this is when I was a trainer. And Deborah, you were at my old gym.
Yes.
I had Tootsie Roll wrappers, Tootsie Pop wrappers. These wrappers were all over the place. It was just one day's worth. And I was like, oh, you know, because we don't realize it. You know, you just it becomes a habit. Like,
I took pictures. I took when I was working out of the office a couple years ago, and it was Halloween. I took a picture of all the empty wrappers in my garbage can of the Halloween candy, and I sent it to my girlfriend because we always joke about our food, how we're addicted to food. And I'm like, oh my God, I have a sickness. I mean, I couldn't believe how many wrappers were in there. It was ridiculous.
Yep. So that, you know, that's awareness, you know.
Irene.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you've been off of sugar?
How
many years?
Let's see here. We've been in this house for 2 years, and it'll be 2 years in November that we moved here, and I definitely have been off sugar since then. So
amazing.
I'd say about 2 years. And there are times where I'm like, God, you know, I miss eating, like, I miss my Snicker bars. Like, I miss, like, you know, it's Halloween, and, you know, I look at this candy and go, gosh, I miss but I know I don't want it, but I miss it. I can't explain it.
Will you have it though? Like, let's say that, you know, let's say if I'm sticking to this program, and that's my goal this year is, you know, in next year, but if say it is something, not that it's every celebration you have to have a sweet, but let's just say, you know, it's my grandson's birthday and I have, you know, just a small slice, and instead of the huge hunk that I would normally get. I mean, do you ever have, like, they say you could have a couple bites and then be satisfied, right?
Right. If I want it, if there's something that I really want, I'll eat it. But like, for example, we were at my parents' house on Sunday, and she always makes like the most amazing desserts, and they're all gluten-free. We had just eaten, and I cut like this little, everyone's like, oh, this is so good. So I cut this, like, you could see through it. It was like, like sliver. And then I'm like, no, I'm just going to have mine when I go home tonight. And I really was going to have a slice when I got home, but it grossed me out. So I didn't want it, you know. But like, so the other day I got to the fire station, and there was a Mounds bar sitting in the car, and I was like, So I opened it up, and I took the almond part off, and I ate that with the chocolate on it. And I was like, I don't want this. No, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Well, it is nuts, because that's kind of, I mean, I'm only 3 weeks in, that's where I'm at. I'm telling you, I could not wait to go to the stores. Woodman's with all the sweets, right? I couldn't wait to see what I was going to fill my cart with.
Yep.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, no, you just, and again, a reminder, when you feel that, like that sense of I don't want. And I've done this before, but not for 2 years. There have been many times where I've blown it, where I'm like, well, it's Halloween. I have to eat one of Mounds and a Snicker and it will trigger everything. It'll all come back, and I'm aware of that. So I don't have it unless I really, really want it, So, I mean, believe me, I've had other things, but not that. So, yeah. So, okay. All right, you guys. Well, look for that email tomorrow, and you could start your assignment right away. And then I look forward to next Wednesday.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And you guys all have my number and stuff, so feel free to reach out during the week too.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Night, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.